Hi pre-K kids, it's Miss Clark. I teach at Milam. I know you don't know me yet. If you go to Milam, you'll get to know me soon. If you don't go to Milam, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're here for art today. We are going to get our watercolors out. I know you had watercolors on your school supply list, so it's time to break out the watercolors. Yours are gonna look a little different than mine. Mine are kind of bigger, but you have all the colors too. I just have more colors. So you're gonna choose a few colors, okay? And we're gonna paint along together and experiment, and we may not make a beautiful masterpiece today, but we're gonna be learning about painting. Are you ready? Here we go. Okay, for today's lesson, you're gonna need your watercolors. They're gonna look different than mine. You're gonna need some paper. And hopefully with your watercolor, you have a paintbrush. Also, if you have something plastic, a Ziploc or a plastic bag or a paper towel or something, because we're gonna add some texture to our watercolor. And also, if you have some salt, we might have some time at the end. We're gonna experiment a little bit with some salt. Now, also crayons. Let's get a few crayons. It doesn't matter what color. I'm just gonna get a few colors, okay? So we're gonna start off with, how about writing our name? If you can write your name, I think that would be great. I'm gonna write Clark. If you can't write your name yet, how about some circles? How about some squiggles? How about some swirly swirls? Swirly, swirly, swirly. How about some scribbly, scribbly, scribblies? Scribbly, scribbly, scribblies. Okay, so whatever you can do, that's what I would like you to add. Just a few things to your paper of crayon, okay? Now, let's see if you can see that. Now I'm gonna get out my watercolors. I'll teach you a few of the watercolor lessons, how we work with watercolor. All right, oh, I also forgot to tell you to get water. Here's my water. I'm gonna get a little bit of water on my paintbrush. And then I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna choose a color. I think I'm gonna go with this bluish greenish color. And so I'm gonna tap a little bit of water into my color. And so I am what's called loading the color into my paintbrush right now. And you know what? I'm gonna come over here and I'm just going to add some paint to my paper. Now, the reason you can still see the crayon is because the wax is resisting the watercolor that I'm adding right now. Okay, because that's just a cool fact, okay? Now, I need to get that green off because I want to use a different color. So I'm gonna come back to my water and get that color off, and I'm gonna choose a new color. How about some purple? So we need to dip, dip, dip in the paint. Lightly on the, I call this the paintbrush toes. It's dancing. Oh, you can't see it. You're dancing in the paint lightly with your toes. Okay, now we're gonna lightly dance on the paper. Ooh, with our paint. That's fun. Okay, so we wanna see our crayon through there because that's neat. So we don't need to try to cover up our crayon, okay guys? Now, I still have purple on my paintbrush, so I need to come over here and get it off in my water. Just lightly swirl in the cup or tippy toe. My paintbrush is always a dancer. She dances lightly. She never scoots on her hiney. Okay, we're gonna load my brush. I now have some orange. And you can paint however you want to. If you want to do some swoopies, swirlies, as long as we're always painting on our toes, that's the way to keep our paintbrush from getting sad. We want to keep our paintbrush happy. Okay, We gotta clean off our paintbrush again. And now you can choose another color. So you get to choose whatever color you want, and you're basically making any kind of art that you want. Okay? Now, I'm gonna add a little bit of blue. If you want to, while it's still wet, if you want to get your plastic bag, squish it up and just dab it. You see the texture that my plastic bag is able to add? That's pretty neat. We're adding some texture to our watercolor design. Now you have to do it when it's wet. Watch, I go over here and try to do it to my green that's already dry, my purple, it's not gonna work, okay? I also wanna teach you another really cool thing. I'm gonna come right here. If you decide you wanna put your paint, your water down first, and then add the paint, this is a pretty neat thing too, watch. I'm just making my paper wet, and then I'm gonna get a little bit of paint. Watch that. See how it's spreading out? That's a fun thing to experiment with too. You can also get some other colors. I'm gonna get a little bit of blue, watch. Ooh. That's a lot of fun when you're up close and you can really see it. I don't know if you can see it so well in my video. Okay, now listen, you can't pick up your paper right now because it'll, what we call bleed. Watch. See, now the colors are gonna run together and turn into brown. So if I'll keep it down, I could use my plastic bag again and go and add some texture. Or you could use a paper towel and make some texture. All right, one last thing I wanna show you. And then you can just paint and paint and paint and have all the fun. You can paint as many paintings as your mom or dad will let you. I'm gonna put down, oh, you know what? I'm gonna start with some color. What color should I choose? How about purple? A darker purple. I don't think we've used this one yet. Oh, yes, we have. Miss Clark is silly sometimes. All right, if you have some salt, I put a little salt on it. You can't tell. I don't think I used enough water. I'm gonna try a lighter color. How about some light green? And I'm gonna spread my paint. And now I'm gonna try my salt. Just a little bit of salt, and it adds some more texture to our watercolor. There are so many fun things you can do with watercolor paint, and I hope that you will have a big time painting, just experimenting with your colors, okay? The main thing I want you to remember is you need to add water to your paintbrush to wake up the paint. And then you lightly dance on the paintbrush toes, and then you come back to your water to get the paint off before you get a new color. Ooh, I need to try some of that pink. Ooh, that's pretty. So also, if you paint over too many times, your paper's gonna start getting soggy. You don't want soggy paper. Okay, I hope you have a fun time experimenting with your paint today. And feel free to have your mom or dad take a picture and send it to either Miss Lee or to me, or your art teacher if you're not at Milam, Miss Morrow, or Miss Rainwater, or Miss Skeens. And I just can't wait to see what you've made. Just have a good time, okay guys? Bye. Bye.